Just always help them.
I know that Monique is saying this isn't about her, but can we say thank you, Monique?
Thank you, Monique.
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 Not a lot of people would put this together last minute and get this many people out and put all this action forward. I'm gonna just do this in two parts, and the first part I'll say pretty loud. Because I want all the police that are here right now to hear me. We're here because you didn't do your job last time.
Listen!
If you had done your job last time, we wouldn't be here. And I know that you feel attacked right now. I know that you feel victimized right now. I know that you got your union on speed dial right now.
Listen!
But what I'm here to tell you is that blue lives do not exist.
Listen!
You have a job. You have a job, and you can quit it today. You can put that badge down. You can put the legacy of being a runaway slave hunter down.
Listen!
And I know that you have a heart as much as people say that you don't. And you're on your bike right now looking off in the distance. And you're trying to act like you don't hear me. But I know that you feel me. I know that you see us. I know that you're a human. And I know that you wake up every day wondering, why am I putting on a badge and carrying a gun in Woodbury of all places? The cops in Woodbury might as well roll like the cops in Japan. No guns, just carry a stick. Dog, ain't nothing gonna pop off here. Why are you militarized?
Yeah.
Why are you militarized? Have you ever researched the psychology of what your job is doing to you? It is turning you into something that is not human. It is turning you into somebody that you are not. It is turning you into someone that you have to ask yourself the question, is this who my mother wanted me to be? Is this who my father wanted me to be? To go around here and shove black women on a Saturday.
Listen!
Monique Colors Doty has been doing more work than you, sir, on your bike, whatever you're chewing, sesame seeds. It has not been getting paid for it. She has been doing more work than you and has not been getting paid for it. That is an example to you that you can follow the lead of black women and do the right thing. Still, you have an open invitation to put the badge down and join us. You can quit your job today and you can start doing the right thing. Now, to speak quickly, I'm sorry, Monique, I take up too much time. I left my job at Twin Cities Public Television, PBS, when they didn't say anything about George Floyd for a week. I know that we want to point the proverbial finger at WCCO, Care 11, or any other major media outlets that make money. But a media outlet that white people in mass support, our governor supports, does not tell the stories of black folks, does not tell the reality of black folks. And I quit that job. I started on a show called America from Scratch. And it was written by a white man that handed it off to bodies of color. And he knew he was handing it off because he couldn't tell it. And he did the right thing by handing it off. But the problem is that he's locked in that building. He can't work outside of a soft, nonpartisan, objective, white comfort level. He couldn't work outside of that. But he knew that if he handed it to black voices, they could maybe do something. But we couldn't. Because it's a media outlet that doesn't tell the stories of black folks and won't even say when a modern day lynching happens. And I called it. Right when I left, I said what they're going to do, they're going to find the oldest black employee, they're going to have him host a documentary about slavery or racism or both. They go hand in hand, and they're going to present me. And what did they do? They had a black employee present a documentary about the 100th anniversary of the lynchings in Duluth. June 14th, 1920, on 1st and 1st in Duluth, they hung 3 black men.
Yep.
Because a white woman said they accosted her.
Listen.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous because when you tell that story, you make white people feel comfortable. You make them believe, hey, it was 100 years ago. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Plus, Duluth is crazy as it is.
Yeah.
That's not me. It is you.
Listen.
It's right here. It's Woodbury Karen. It's Brittany Moe. And let me tell you something that TPT, PBS is not going to do. They're not going to tell the story of Brittany Moe.
No.
They're not going to do it. Because they want white people right now to believe that they live in a post-racial world. That they live in a world that operates on equity. They live in a world where black lives matter. If they lived in a world where black lives matter, then why would George Floyd happen? If you lived in a world where black lives matter, why would Miss Cooper in New York call up the cops and say, I'm going to call the cops on you and tell them that a black man is harassing me? And that's a liberal white woman. This is not political. Brittany Moe put black lives at risk. It becomes a life or death situation when you want to call the cops on black people for no damn reason. I live in Minneapolis, and I rolled by a white woman calling the cops on a group full of East African gentlemen at a park. They were playing soccer. And I approached her, I said, what you doing? She said, I'm calling the cops because I want everybody to be safe. They need to be social distancing. I said, okay, that's cool. But are you going to call the cops on the group of white people playing slam ball just 50 yards away?
Listen.
Are you going to do that too? Because the narrative you're painting is that these black people are dangerous. These black people aren't worth it. These black people are inhumane. These black people are animals. What you're saying is that we don't matter. And the narrative that you're painting is that your life is more important than ours. You have to understand when you see the screenshots of what Brittany Moe wrote. They had like a bunch of emojis underneath. She posted the first one, and there was the wild face, and there was the sad face. These are people that believed her. They believed this story that 3 black men wanted to abduct her in Woodbury. The hell are you talking about?
Listen.
And then her dog chased them away? Then Woodbury had a minutia, and I'm being very, very, very nice when I say this, a minutia of humanity to say that there was no cause for nothing happened. There was no abduction, no attempt. That's the least they could have done. You have a duty to protect and serve. And what happened on Saturday was you failed that duty.
Listen.
What happened when you signed up for your job is you already failed the people because you signed up for an institution that has a legacy of white supremacy, is rooted in white supremacy, and is an advocate for white supremacy. They want to change the rhetoric. They want to say white nationalists. They want to say far right. You can easily say that the police are hired white supremacists.
Listen.
They are hired to defend the institution of white supremacy. And that's not an extreme thing to say. That's fairly fair.
That's fair.
They have a history of killing black folks for no damn reason. And we pay them with our tax dollars. If you can't hold the narrative that Brittany Moe tried to run on black folks accountable, then you shouldn't be in your job. You need to address Brittany Moe. You need to arrest her, bring her in, and give her a night in jail. And ask her, what the hell are you doing? Are you out of your damn mind?
Listen.
And I'll say this to wrap up. Brittany wrote that story because she felt comfortable writing it.
Listen.
If white people feel okay writing these narratives, what the hell's going on with this culture? Why do you feel okay saying that? Why do you feel okay making that up, spinning that story? That is the exact thing. That is the exact core of what caused 3 black men to be lynched in Duluth 100 years ago.
Listen.
And you're going to sit here and lie to me that you're past it. You're going to sit here and look at black folks and say that you know better. You're going to sit here and act like you got some damn sense. You're going to sit here and act like you're not a part of the problem. You are. And like my sister said earlier, we need allies. And we need y'all to be an accomplice. It feels really uncomfortable, doesn't it? It does. But you're not going to have to spend a lifetime feeling it. You're not going to have to wake up wondering if your brother, your father, or your nephew is gone due to police violence. And when they take your loved one's life, they don't just take it. They take the life, spin the story, haunt you till you leave Denver or till you leave your hometown and have to come here, because that's what they do. That's what they, black out, had to do. That's what a lot of people of color have to do. They get murdered, then they have to get haunted, then they have to get the story retold to them, then they leave town. The trauma continues. And that happens from the birth. We are born into this. This is not something we choose. We're born into this. Brittany's story is part of a long legacy of white supremacy in this country that she doesn't know any better or does know better, but needs to be held accountable for. And if you white folks don't do it, Monique has to.
Listen.
And Monique shouldn't have to do it.
Yeah. Listen.
It shouldn't take a black woman showing up for you to show some damn sense.
Listen.
So this is the charge. The white people that are here,
Listen.
you gotta hold the other Britneys accountable.
Yes.
You have to hold them accountable. This can't happen again. Take them up to their face. Take it on site. Be on site with them. Talk to these people. You don't have to shame them. You don't have to attack them. Just hold them accountable. That's the least you could do. That is the bare minimum. You're here to normalize not doing the bare minimum. You're here to normalize showing up. You're here to normalize speaking out. You're here to normalize being an accomplice. Keep that going. If we don't get no justice, 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 all power to the people.